Yeah, we're the best.
Don't tell everybody else to say that.
to get into trouble out in the walls.
So you're living down here now?
Yeah, I live actually at Lakewood, off of
Okay.
Sherrock,
Okay.
Four Seasons.
And is this the first time you come to Hooper Avenue?
First time I've been to this school.
Yeah. We do a nice little
They
presentation.
do, and it was very warm.
Yeah.
It made us all feel very welcome.
We appreciate everything you do.
But I want to see more smiling faces.
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
Well, it's a
man,
little
you
early
smile.
for us, you know,
Come on,
but
you smile.
we're getting
Come
going.
on, you too. There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody told me to smile, you could not say, not savage to you.
You know, good.
Yes.
Well, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you did and how you served and what...
Okay. I was drafted. Drafted means that somebody comes and they send you a letter and says you are now in the service.
There was no questions, right?
No questions.
They don't get that, yeah.
No, you get this letter, comes to your house, they slide it under your door, and the next thing you know, you're going to basic training, you're in uniform, you go to I was infantry, go to advanced infantry training,
And what year was it? I'm sorry.
66, 67.
Okay, 1966, 1967. So we're just getting into the American Revolution this week. So that's where we're at. You know, and then we know of World War I, we know of World War II and Vietnam, and so you know they're kind of familiar. I know some of them have grandparents who have served. Richard, do you have somebody in the military who served? Okay, great. And maybe in Vietnam.
That's awesome.
Okay. I think
I don't know.
okay. Okay. Great.
So make sure you go thank everybody that's in your family that served. Tell them thank you for allowing us to be free.
John, how old were you when you got that letter?
I was 21, and I was one of the older guys.
Okay.
When I went overseas, I celebrated my 22nd birthday. Most of the people I was with were 18 and 19. All right, and there's a big difference in age. The only people that were older than I am are the people who are making careers out of the service.
Okay.
All right, otherwise they were all younger.
Yeah.
I was an old man at 22. It's interesting. Yeah. But I went through advanced infantry training, then I went over to Vietnam. I spent 313 days there. And after my 313 days, I spent 13 months in the hospital. And that's where I got this pain. In August of 1968. This is what the Army gave me, and they said, I used it for 4 years straight.
So, okay, yeah, go ahead. Some questions, maybe.
Why were you in the hospital for 15 months?
I got shot
Why?
in the femur, neck of the femur, which is the bone top right below the hip. And that shattered, so that's what I was in.
Okay, so we haven't really talked about this yet, but what color do you notice he's wearing?
Oh, those
Okay, there's a reason. It's significant, and it goes back to one of my favorite general in the world and my favorite historian and person in the world, if you ask me. What color is he wearing? What color is he wearing? Purple. Okay, there's a reason behind it. Anybody know the reason behind the purple? You know, Lucas.
I think because like he had a purple heart.
Okay, good. He has a purple heart. You mean deep down inside, his heart is purple? No. Okay, he received a Medal of Honor, which is a very, very tremendous award to get, and none greater in my eyes than the Purple Heart. And does anybody know what the Purple Heart signifies or symbolizes? Yeah. And he kind of just said it. He kind of just said it when
Get
I want.
injured?
Okay, when you get injured in war, in a battle, and obviously you survive, you receive.
In a Purple Heart.
Get a Purple Heart.
And actually, when you get it, it actually has your name engraved on the back.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize that. It's a very heavy medal. It weighs a couple ounces, maybe 2.5, 3 ounces. When you talk about medals, to me, the most important one, I don't know if you can see it, it's a rifle with a silver wreath around it. Okay. In the Army, that's a combat infantry badge. The combat infantry badge is what you get if you are a combat veteran, if you spend 30 days in the field in combat. Okay, and whenever I see that, I look and say, this person has been where you don't want to go. Okay, because I was there. Believe me, I didn't want to go there either. No one did. Yeah, much more you had questions, I think. Okay,
So I have a couple. I'm sorry. I always love having you guys in here. So when you were out in the battle and you got injured, can you describe? I guess could you describe the feeling of going into battle and how you were feeling? I mean, you were there for 30 days, obviously more.
313 days.
Okay, 313 days. But that was the day you went out into battle. Where were you? What was the scene like?
The unit I was with the 1st Air Cavalry. I was there 313 days. We spent 8 days in base camp. I got there in September. We came in, and I can remember the day, it was February 19th. because my anniversary was February 20th, my wedding anniversary, that was my first one.
Oh, jeez.
Then we went back out in the field 8 days later, and I ended up going into the hospital August 5th. Okay, so we went all that time,
Okay.
we were always in the field, so we
Right.
basically,
You were there a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
our division was tough because they kept us out in the field. And in the field doesn't mean you're out where there's trees and jungle or woods. It means you might have forward fire bases, which would be artillery bases. That would give you support if you're out in the field and you need support with artillery or airstrikes. And to us, a break would be where you get to go and you secure a fire base. Because that means you didn't have to dig a hole that night, didn't have to dig a foxhole. One of the things that you probably see movies where people are jumping foxholes. Well, every night we had to dig one. If we didn't work in the same place where somebody was, you'd have to dig a hole every night.
And what would you do with the hole? You would just sit in the hole, right? That's where you would stay. That was your bunk bed for the night. That was your bed.
We actually had
Shelter.
poncho liners.
Okay.
Ponchos, you take 2 ponchos, you put them together.
Right. To make
And,
it.
yeah, and you put a stick across, you put where the heads are, it pulls it up.
Yeah.
So now you have a place where you can go lay down.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, they give you, I think twice we got air mattresses sent out to us. The only problem was they lasted about a week and they had holes in them.
Yeah.
And it's, when people are in the field, you're not in combat every day. Nobody can be in combat every day for 313 days.
Right.
You might end up in combat maybe 10% of the time, if that, and that would be a lot. So it's always the fear
Yeah.
of what is going to happen, when you're going to run into something.
So after you were hit, what happened as far as you had people around you that helped you get back
Well,
to safety, or?
I couldn't move.
Right.
My fear was shattered. The helicopter came in, they medevaced me. And from there, I went to a surgery in Vietnam, then a second surgery in Vietnam. And I was flown over to Japan, but I ran a high temperature, so they kept me in the Philippines overnight. And then I went to Japan. I stayed there for 10 weeks. And I can tell you a funny story about Japan. I was there, I was in a cast from here down. Okay, I was down both legs,
Right.
halfway down to one leg. While I was there, I was also in traction for 8 weeks. But in order for them to send me back to the States, they said you have to have a haircut. So I'm in this cast, they put me on a gurney, they wheel me out of the hospital, wheel me down to where there's a barber shop, and go to wheel me in, when my legs are this far apart, with the cast, they can't put me in the door.
Can't fit you in the door.
All right? So my head's inside the barber shop,
No.
the legs are on the sidewalk, they cut my hair.
And that's what they did.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. Any questions from you guys? Anything else? Yeah. Emily.
What do you guys eat while you're at war?
Good question.
We would get sea rations. There'd be food that actually comes in a can. The actual sea rations we have are the same ones they used in World War II. That's how long they last.
Really? So they were leftovers.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if I have them. Let me see. I have something here. Yes, I do. I can always carry water in my pocket. It's a sign of getting old.
Yeah.
This here is about what you eat. I don't know, you really can't see this, okay? This is we call it a P38. A P38 is used to open cans. So when you get your sea rations, the way you open the cans, you put your P30 on it, go around it, and open the can. Okay, then what you do is you learn a couple little tricks. You take the small cans, and you make those into a little stove. So you can we used to take Claymore mines apart. There's this explosive in there called C4. You touch that with a cigarette, which you shouldn't smoke. There, you did. You touch it, and it would get real hot, and you could heat your food. So when you cut your cans open, you open your can about 3/4 of the way around, and you bend it back, and you fold it. So you have, it looks like a handle. Then you put that on top of your little can, and you heat it, and then you have a way of, then you eat it. But everything was in cans.
Like beans and corn, or what was it?
Oh, yeah, the worst one was ham and lima beans.
Oh,
Ham and lima beans, that was brutal. Then the ham and eggs, that was not good either.
think about it, if you don't like it, what do you do? Well, you're in trouble, you better like it. You better start to like it, because mom's not going to make you something different, that's for sure.
No, no. It's,
Anybody else have another question? Any other questions? Plenty of. Benjamin, what do you have?
So you were in Vietnam.
yes.
Did you serve in the same place that Neil Armstrong did in Vietnam?
I don't think so. I mean, we were all over, everybody was all over the country, but I don't believe I did. I think he was in a few better places than I was.
They kept them in better places. Group that you were with over there, then when you came back, have you stayed in touch with anybody from your, I guess, your infantry?
Here's one of the hard things. The first 3 months I was overseas, I knew the people I was with. After 3 months, I realized I didn't want to know anybody. Because if I knew people, when something happened to them, it really hurt. So if you didn't know, you just, okay, you do your job, I'll do my job, we'll walk up my life.
Okay, so you kind of didn't even want to get to know someone on a
No.
personal level, huh?
No,
Yeah.
that was the way I was.
Yeah, no, that's you don't realize that, right?
Some people were that way, other people were not. You know, it's protection.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of questions people ask. Oh, did anybody get any medals? Did anybody look brave? I never saw a brave person all the time I was overseas. I saw scared people do amazing things, and I saw angry people do amazing things. And you don't do them out of, I don't really feel like being brave.
Out of bravery.
You do it out of anger and fear.
Yeah.
I know that's what made me function, anger and fear. And if somebody got hurt, even though you didn't know a lot about them, you wanted to just
Yeah.
get even.
Where is your medal that you have? The Purple Heart? Do you have it at home or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few different awards.
Okay. And when you received that medal, how was that feeling for you? I mean, you guys tell me, how do you think he felt receiving that medal? I mean, don't tell me how he felt, but what do you think? Amazing, right? Proud to be an American? Yeah? Okay. Yeah.
It's the medal that you cherish, and it means so much to you. It's like one of the best things I have, but I wish I didn't have. Okay, that's that medal. That's what it does to you, because you've suffered an injury, you've been hurt, your life has changed. At 22 years old, my whole life changed. I could no longer run. My legs stopped bending more than 90 degrees. I was in constant pain, and it's all of a sudden, blink of an eye, the word life changes. The same as you get older, when you drive, you have to be very careful. Because you go out, you get in a car accident, don't pay attention, your whole life changes. And you only get one life. So it's a treasure.
The Purple Heart, does anybody know which person it was named after? Well, not named after, but in honor of? Anybody know? Can we get through that?
I can give you the history of it.
Yeah? Please tell me.
Real quick history. The Purple Heart was originally awarded by George Washington, but it was a ribbon. There's only record of 3 ribbons handed out by George Washington. The Purple Heart actually became a medal for combat wounded only in 1932. And they retroed it back to World War I. But in order to get the Purple Heart from World War I, you have to show proof that you were wounded. There was like 5 or 6 different items that you could have that say you were wounded. And if the families contacted the government, sent in the proof, that person received the Purple Heart. But in 1932, this is only going to be given for combat wounded. Prior to that, it was also given for military merit. So, I mean, it's a real quick history.
Yeah. So George Washington, it's named, it's in honor of George Washington. You know, one of those fearless generals that we have ever known. It's a really, like you said, it's an amazing award to get, but it's one that you don't want to get, obviously, because you know you're busy. Do you ever see Forrest Gump? I just love Forrest Gump. If you ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, and there's a point in the movie where he's out in Vietnam and he's injured with his Bubba Gump friend, and but afterwards he comes back and he receives the Purple Heart, and he says,
"Oh yes,"
he says, "Where were you injured?" And he was injured in his rear end, and kind of so part of the movie. But I'm sorry.
He moved the president.
Yes, he did. Yes. I don't want to go there, but yes, he did move the president. Yeah, but it was cute when it happened. So. I don't think John did that. Right?
No, I didn't get to see a president, but I did get to see Lyndon B. Johnson was president. His doctor actually reviewed my case when I was in Japan. Okay. So I got to meet Lyndon B. Johnson's doctor.
Yeah. Nice.
Let's go this guy first, because I already got a couple for you.
Josh, go ahead.
Can you open one of those cans with this?
We do have a couple cans back there, but we're not. Yeah, we don't want to open one up. Yeah. Believe me, they work.
This is kind of a sad question. Did you know anyone who passed away in the war?
Yes. Several people.
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped where I really wanted to know people and know about them. Because when you lose a friend, it hurts. And when you lose somebody you care about, it hurts. When somebody gets hurt, you care about, it hurts. So it still hurts you when you're not really friendly with them, but it doesn't hurt you the same way. You try to build a wall around yourself to protect yourself. The way you protect yourself is by not allowing yourself to get involved. Okay, that's what I look at.
Yeah, no, I understand, totally get it. And a lot of times you don't look at it
When
that
other
way.
people got hurt, what we did to med back them out. Okay, we'd have a helicopter come in. Our job was, let's get our wounded person to that helicopter so they can get him out. And a lot of times our helicopter pilots would come in and there's still fire going on. They're going to go put a holes, put through and what have you, and we're trying to get somebody into the helicopter. And it's really, I don't know how the pilots would do it, how they would come into a place knowing that people are going to shoot at them, and they're going to, if they get hit, they're coming down. They were
Yeah.
brave people.
Right.
Okay, they came in to get us out. We had what they called gunships. Gunships, they would carry all different types of weaponry. So if you got into a problem, you called a helicopter gunship in, and they expend all their ammo, then they would actually come and land and take our wounded out. And it was the most amazing thing. You'd watch this helicopter come in, and you're trying to get somebody, and you don't have stretchers, you have no litters, you have no way of carrying the people. So a lot of times you end up putting them on a poncho, and you drag them across
Yeah.
and picking up the poncho and you put them in. These are people that they might have had a leg injury, head injury, all different types of injuries. So
Real quick, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
with your family, I know you said you got a letter under your door and you were, off to Vietnam. So, can you explain what it was like leaving your family behind? Do you have any brothers and sisters that you left behind, which,
Well,
and I'm sure was very difficult?
I was married.
Okay, so you were married.
Yeah, it was, going in wasn't bad. It was something I accepted it, and I said, okay, but I went on R&R, which was rest and relaxation in Hawaii, and my wife flew out. When I left there, she was still there. That was hard,
Okay,
because I knew what I was going back to. The
Yeah.
first time, I didn't know what I was going to.
yeah.
The second, when I went back, after R&R, I knew what I was going.
So you went into Vietnam, and then I guess you did a little tour, and
6 months.
6 months, and they give you kind of a break, like a vacation, believe it or not, where you're allowed to leave. So he left, and he went to Vietnam, went to Hawaii, and he met up with his wife. So then he knew then what he had to go back into, and your attitude and your perception.
Oh, yeah,
was
it was,
a lot different then.
yeah.
Great.
When you're at war, do you ever wear ear protection?
No, we did not.
Oh.
That was totally different then than it is
Yeah.
now. They have all types of body armament today. The ones we had, they weighed about 40 pounds. We did not use it. I just couldn't do it, it was too hot.
So you had a different protection, much different protection that they have today. Technology has changed today, so a lot of that stuff has really developed over the years. World War I, World War II, and then Vietnam. What they were fighting with back then and what they fight with now, completely different ballgame. One more, Tommy, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Do you remember, what the other people, looked like what kind of armory they had and stuff?
Well, they didn't have any, and we didn't really have any. We just wore a uniform. I'll give you a couple of real quick things.
Mhm.
I wore the same uniform from February until August.
February to August, think about that.
And they didn't really get a chance to wash. So we smelled so bad the bugs were made of us.
That's pretty good. He smelled so